Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to itvideocoach.com. This is going to be both on the itvideocoach.com website and up there on YouTube for the YouTube watchers. How you guys doing? Welcome back. We're going to be verifying that the Exchange server has been installed successfully. So what we want to do is come into our server after the installation has been completed. We've rebooted the server. And the first thing I want to do is just pull up the Start menu, okay? And we can open up the Exchange Management Console. And there it has expanded and initialized successfully. And we're good to go. So we're going to open up the organizational configuration. Probably one of the first things you want to try to open in this MMC Snap-in to make sure things are working would be your mailbox server, because that's where it's got to go out and actually grab the databases and make sure the storage group and the databases can be connected. So that's a real important component. So we want to make sure that's all working in together. So we're going to verify that first. And we can see that it did successfully grab the first storage group in the mailbox database and the default public folder database. And we can see that very clearly there. All right, so that looks pretty good. We can also open up recipient configuration and take a look and see if we have any mailboxes on the server. And by default, we do have the administrator mailbox. Okay? Now, the other things we can check to make sure things are working correctly is to make sure that the Exchange services are started. So we want to look at the default configuration for Exchange services. We're looking for all the services that should be started automatically. So we want to go in here, and we're going to take a look at our services. And we're going to scroll down, and we want to take a look and see that all our Exchange services that are supposed to be automatically started did indeed start. So we're just going to go right down the list. We look good. Looks good. Very good. Information store, very important, of course. And we can see that all the Exchange services that are supposed to start automatically have indeed started. Even the search has started, which is a manual start. And it looks good. So all the services have started. Now, another thing that would be important to verify is our logs. So we can go into Event Viewer, and we can take a look here at our Windows PowerShell. There's no errors there. Application log. I don't see any errors there. Everything looks really clean right now. A few errors in DNS. Nothing really to be worried about there. The DNS records themselves are fine, and these records are from several days ago. So we haven't had really any major problems since we cleaned up some of the other settings on our DNS server. So it looks really good. The services are started. The application log looks good. Right? We can see some of the Exchange entries there in the log for transport service. Everything's going quite well. Okay, now to really verify that the Exchange installation is going off without a hitch, what we'd want to do is to create a couple of user accounts and a couple of mailboxes and just do a test and make sure we can send mail back and forth. So to verify mail flow, we'd like to come down here to recipient configuration, and we're going to build a brand new mailbox. Okay? So we're going to create a user mailbox for now. We'll look at these other options later. Build a brand new user. So my first user here is Nick. And I've got the server set up not to require a password. Of course, in real life, you definitely want a password, but just for this demonstration, no password. All right. And an alias, Nick is fine. Mailbox database, we're going to use the default mailbox database here. We don't have any other special policies in place, and we're going to create that mailbox. And the fact that it creates a mailbox right off the bat is a great sign. And we'll create another mailbox. Brand new user, brand new mailbox. Now you can create your users in Active Directory or already have them created in Active Directory, and then come over and simply associate or build the mailbox to an existing user. So on this previous screen here, you can pick an existing user and just associate it there if you need to. So you don't have to build the user and everything from scratch, the mailbox, all at one time. And we're going to pick our mailbox database. And we've got the 2 users there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is flip over to an XP box. And on this XP box, we're going to make sure that we have everything we need. Let's take a spot check. And we can see we have Office and that we have Outlook. So we have the email application, right? So we're just going to log in as a brand new user. Alright, so let's go ahead and log in here. And we're going to log in as Terry. Alright, so we're logged in as Terry. And we're going to switch over to another machine here. And we're going to log in as Nick. And we can see we're logged in as Nick. Let's just change the wallpaper here real quick so it's easier for you to see the difference between the 2 user accounts. So we'll just make this one Autumn here real quick. So this is Nick's machine, and this is Terry's machine. So the next thing we want to do is just open up Outlook. And the great thing about Outlook 2007 is this auto discover feature is fantastic. You can go out there and just automatically pick up the Exchange user account. So we just go through the regular setup of Outlook. You can configure Outlook to connect to Internet Email, Exchange, or other email servers. Would you like to configure an email account? And we'll say yes. And it just picks it up automatically. Isn't that just awesome? I love that feature, as I'm sure you will too once you get into production. And it establishes a network connection. Should find the user Terry at itvideocoach.local and log on. All right. And there's Terry's profile, so we're all set up with Outlook. We're not going to use these options right here. We just want to get right into it. Okay, now. Okay, so Terry's ready to send mail. All right, this is Terry's machine. We're going to flip over here to Nick's machine, and we're going to do the same thing. Microsoft Office. Load up Outlook. We should get the same auto configuration settings here. Automatically finds the user and configures. And just to test email flow, I'm going to create a brand new email. Get him logged in as Nick. We're going to send a message to Terry. There he is. And this will be test email flow. Okay, test email flow. And we'll send that off to Terry. And we'll check and see what Terry has over here. And there's this message from Nick. Okay, so that's a pretty good overview of all the steps for Exchange. If you watch all the videos on preparing your Active Directory environment for Exchange Server 2007, whether you watch the full video on the IT Video Coach website, or you see the YouTube 1, 2, and 3, 4 presentations, and then we have a part 1 of 1, just installing Exchange. And then this last video kind of wraps up just the basic getting things ready, doing the install, and then verifying the installation. And we can see that we have email flow just on the mailbox server with that one mailbox database. Right? Keep in mind, you have to have a hub transport server role, even though we're mapping clients directly to that Exchange server. Great. So that wraps it up for now. We'll see you next time with more Exchange videos. Thank you very much.